Hey everybody out there in the internet world, and welcome to another Dark Avengers comic book review. First off guys, I've been off the radar the past week and a half. I've been suffering from a terrible cold. I mean, it started off as a sore throat, went into some type of a laryngitis, which then went into nasal, nose and whatnot. So I've been suffering for a week and a half, so I've fallen off everybody's radar. I've been getting tons of messages. I've missed a lot of videos. I haven't even been on the internet. Other than posting last week's comic book review, that's basically all I did for my site, and that's basically the last time basically I was on, other than a few answers for messages here and there. So I've been away for a long time, and believe me, I'm going to be catching up tomorrow on everybody's videos and on comic book news. So I have no comic book news. I was going to do the podcast this weekend, but I just was not up to shooting it, so hopefully next week will be when we do the podcast. Gotta send everybody who's in the cast messages. Forgive me if my voice does crack. I still have a slight case of laryngitis. I'll try to talk as clear as I possibly can. And yeah, I have no news for you guys, unfortunately. Basic setup from now on for the background is, as I said, Mike's John Romita signed Punisher #1. Some figures, some hero clicks. You'll be seeing them in the February monthly click on Comic Community Central. Michael asked if we could use his clock for the comic review, which he got for his birthday, which is a Superman clock, and then you guys know the TMNT clock. So yeah, that's the basic setup. A few things will change here and there as I come into acquirement of certain other things. Yes, acquirement, that's a big word. What'd you think? I was all comic, no nerd? Nice set of comics this week. The comics I'll be reviewing were released on the last week of January, January 25th, 2012. This is the last week of January. I will be doing a monthly review. I'll probably be shooting that tomorrow of the best and worst comics of this month. So if you guys are interested in seeing what I have to say, I'm really not going to expand too much on what I've already said. I'll probably put in a few extra words here and there because I reread my comics after my reviews. But other than that, you can look forward to that on CCC tomorrow, along with another video that I have to finish editing. Anyway, first off, the figure I've been waiting for since it was announced about 5 months ago. Superboy in the Superhero Collection, issue 99, came out this week. Oh my god, so happy it came. I love this figure. I would have pre-ordered it, but what? Too high?
I got it.
Okay. I would have pre-ordered this figure, but it actually sold out from pre-orders. I had to wait till it was back on order before I could actually get it. I'm glad I got one. I don't know if there's any left on CCC, but if you guys are interested, yeah, Mike, you can come in front. Mike has some comics this week.
Yep.
We have a few drops this week. Hello.
Yes. Welcome.
We have a few drops this week, a few maybes for one more chances, and a couple of well, one #1 at least, and a few things here and there that are very interesting, so let's not waste any time. Once again guys, January 25th, 2012 were the release dates for these comic books,
Started.
and issue #1 of Infestation 2 has finally been released. First off, I have to say, when I read the first couple of pages, I was very disappointed because I did not read Infestation. Outbreak, I want to say it's Outbreak, is the book. They advertised the book somewhere. I believe it was Outbreak or something like that. And yeah, Outbreak, yeah. Basically, stuff that happened in Outbreak was pushed into, led up to basically Infestation 2. And because nobody knew there was going to be an Infestation 2, a lot of people didn't bother getting Outbreak. I know a lot of people dropped it after Infestation 1. A few people didn't like it even. I didn't know a few people didn't like it. I actually enjoyed Infestation #1. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I mean, I glimpsed through it. I mean...
No, this is #2. I'm talking about #1 last year. The zombies.
Oh, that one. Oh, I didn't see that. I thought you talked about this one.
Oh. So that's how, when I started reading this book, I felt like, you know, for people who didn't read Outbreak, even though you did kind of sum up what happened, it still wasn't fair. Outbreak was around for pretty much the rest of 2011 after Infestation 1, so it kind of was a letdown because I don't have Outbreak, and even if I went and bought the book now, the series has already begun and I've already been caught up, so it's like, what's the point? Looking over that, this time it's not zombies, it's aliens, and the aliens want freedom, they want to break free, and they break free of their prison, and it's up to Britt, Cross, and I forgot his name. Shoot.
Wait, what? Wait.
The other guy, the guy with the blonde hair.
Yeah, because I was looking through that
and Bowles.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bowles. Bools. It turns out this gigantic worm, for those of you who didn't see the preview, just basically you can't hit it, you can't do anything, because if you hit it, it gets bigger.
It looks like it has eyes everywhere.
It does have eyes everywhere. The team separates for a time. This is basically events I believe came right out of Outbreak. They're trying to settle down what's going on. Cross takes out one of the eyes because he wants to get analysis back at the base, so to speak. I'll tell you guys, you really do get confused with what's going on, because if you didn't read Outbreak, it's kind of question mark. Turns out that these aliens are trying to reach into other worlds. You find that out towards the very end, and they're reaching through using, instead of Brit, like in Infestation 1, this time they're using Cross. And basically you get that big splash page at the end where they're reaching out to other ones from the other universes, which we all know is G.I. Joe, TMNT, and so on.
I'm trying to interrupt you. And plus, they also have the covers in the back.
Yeah, I was going to mention the checklist.
Oh, my bad.
That's okay. So the next issue is Transformers. They might have to put down Cross. That's exactly how Britt ends the comic. We may have to put him down. To be continued in Transformers #1. So apparently they're all going to interlock. You get that nice checklist just like in Infestation 1. Next up is Transformers, followed by Dungeons and Dragons, all this month. Then the last week of this month you get Infestation team-ups. In the following month, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and G.I. Joe, followed by the following month, 30 Days of Night, a one-shot. And then it all concludes in Infestation 2, #2, and it has everybody on the cover. So I'm guessing they're all going to somehow meet up in the in this world, or they're going to in all their individual worlds have a part in Infestation #2 in April.
I think it would be cool if they all met up with each other, because
it would be interesting.
It would be, actually, because it would bring like a better team up. Like, by this cover, you could tell there's a great people of teamwork.
Yeah. There's brief cameos from all the universes in here, like maybe one page. But mainly, just like in Infestation 1, it focused directly on the vampire, the VOC, which is the vampire organization. Yeah. They're vampires that take care of the world. They protect over the world, their world. And there was another outbreak. No, this is actually cool. Not like Twilight at all.
Oh, okay, good. Because I was about to say.
No, so I'm iffy on it right now because, like I said, I didn't read Outbreak, so you kind of go in on this with like I missed out on something and how this all led into this. But once again, it's crossing over to other comics that are really good, so I'll stick around. Didn't get the best rating from a couple of comic review sites, but if you liked Infestation 1, I'd say check out Infestation 2. If you didn't like Infestation 1, it pretty much looks to be following along the guidelines of Infestation 1, only different characters and looks like a little bit more fleshing out of the story. Favorite book of the month, as always, continues. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, #6. The introduction of two things here. The Foot Clan finally makes its introduction, and the Mousers make their introduction.
I know, I read it.
Uh-huh. Oh, you read it?
A little bit of it.
Oh, okay, so you read it. So, I think from the cover, next month, it's going to be Krang that makes his appearance.
Yeah, you know something? I actually thought the same thing, because Krang's like one of those, like...
Yeah, and he's covering the face and everything.
Yeah, it was like, wow.
So, Casey's going for a job, and April O'Neil is doing the interviews. So they meet up, and you see already Casey's falling for April the second he sees her. The Turtles are chasing after... I forgot how... I hope I pronounced this right, because it is French. They labeled him, character-wise, they labeled him as the Savat Ninja.
Savat Ninja. Mm-hmm.
And that's the guy on the cover. I got the Kevin Eastman cover, which is cover B. I love this cover. I took a shot in the dark, and Kevin Eastman's art has never... I've never gone wrong choosing Kevin Eastman, and that's what I'm going to leave it as. So the Turtles are following the Savat Ninja, who's being chased by 2-foot ninjas, and they're being silent observers. Of course, Raphael is fighting with Leo, saying we should help. It's 2-on-1. It's not fair. Spoiler alert, the guy gets killed, but before he dies, he spouts out one sentence in French, and it's, "War is coming," and the Foot Clan ninjas disappear. Then we go back to Splinter talking with the Turtles, explaining how he still feels that they're reincarnations of Omadayoshi and his children. And of course Donatello is fighting it with scientific logic, and then Splinter gives him back some scientific logic. And then we get the Casey part. And then Old Hob is talking to, I forget who this guy's name is. He's so unimportant, probably, that's why.
Oh,
his name is so unimportant. I like ignore this character practically, because it just doesn't interest. The character's just stupid. Oh, here we go. Stockman.
Stockman. What?
And Stockman's like, "You've already had 2 strikes. You screwed up twice. You know, 3rd strike, you're out. What do you need to take out the Turtles?" And he's like, "I need a blasted army." And he's like, "Okay, spoiler alert, this is the last page. You may want to fast forward a couple of seconds." He's like, "How about these? I call them Mousers." To be continued.
That was wow.
And they have 3 different types, and there is a sketch towards the very end of the book. There is a one-page sketch, which basically gives you Mouser A, B, and C, and a sketch of Sabat Ninja.
Doesn't he look like from Super Mario World, those Koopa robot thingies?
No, not really. This reminds me of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles animated series. Which
No,
is where they
I
derive
know that, but I'm just saying it kind of actually...
a little bit.
A little bit.
A little bit. So, we're back to classic Mousers in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles world. I love this book. I highly recommend this to everybody who's passed my page. The 1, 2, 3, and 4s from the global conquest, the global whatever, the 3rd printing of these books, from 1 through 4 have sold out. Sold out, and number 5 sold out, and I'm sure number 6 by now is sold out or on its way out. TMNT is doing really good.
Yeah.
I can't even express how much enjoyment I get every month when I get this book or I get the micro series that's coming out. I'm eagerly awaiting volume 2 of the hardcover of the first series, which is coming out in February, so I'm eagerly waiting for that. This series is going very, very strong. It's in its 6th issue already, and it's still selling out. Now, granted, Darkwing Duck sold out for a long time because of nostalgic reasons, but this story is going very strong. Kevin Eastman has been doing an amazing job. Artwork is also really awesome, even though it's not drawn by Kevin Eastman and it's not black and white anymore. One of the books I always highly recommend to anyone who comes down my page. The trade paperback of issues 1 through 5 has to be coming out soon. If you didn't get 1 through 5, guys, when the trade paperback comes out, I highly recommend, if you don't want to get the comic series individually until you know for sure, get the trade paperback of the first story. It will convince you. I promise.
And nothing could ever beat the classics.
Nope.
You know?
And I'm glad IDW got this, because IDW does their comics right.
Alright.
Going into the big 2, just throwing it out there, Alpha Flight 8 of 8 came out. Concluded very nicely. Didn't read the whole series, so I really can't give a in-depth review. I can say, though, the ending was wow. And that's really all I can say. So, Alpha Flight number 8 of 8. Fantastic Four 602 has redeemed itself a bit. I'm still probably going to drop this at the end of the story because from what I'm seeing, and me and Phil have been talking, the Captain Comics Phil, have been talking about this a bit, it looks as though Fantastic Four, the original 4, are going to be in this book, and Spidey's going to move into the FF book with the kids, and that's what's going to sell the FF book. And I don't want any part of that. I'm not getting FF again, and if Spidey's not in this book, I dropped Fantastic Four before because it wasn't interesting. With Spidey gone,
I drop it too, as well.
However, while I'm collecting it for this story, really good stuff happens in here. I'm not going to spoil a lot, but basically, as you can see from the cover, Reed does call for Galactus to help out, and basically Galactus does help out. He shows up and he takes out the I can't remember the name of the army. The Kree. I keep forgetting their name. And then he finds out why he's really there, and spoiler alert, I'm not going to show a picture, but basically the Celestials is all I'm going to say. And I thought Galactus was huge. If you get this book and you see the Celestials, Galactus isn't going to look so huge anymore. Or so uniquely huge, at least, anymore. Story's going strong. Spidey's still nowhere to be seen. He's probably in FF, yet he's still on the covers.
I know, that doesn't make sense if he's on the cover.
He was on 1 or 2 pages, briefly. 1 or 2 pages, very briefly, in the ship with the FF, and he's holding on to a Nihilist. That's all he's doing.
Wait, didn't you show me that?
Yeah, that's it. He's just holding on to a Nihilist on a leash. That's it. That's all Spidey's doing right now.
Ridiculous.
So, we'll see what happens. And on Earth, the Avengers are preventing any of the debris from crashing into the Earth and basically protecting everybody else. Very small role compared to what the Fantastic Four is doing. And now I'm turning it over to Michael to do XMen Legacy.
Okay, XMen Legacy number 261. The story, I have to admit, was amazing. I mean, like looking at this artwork, basically from last issue we saw about...
The point 1, you mean?
Yeah, the point 1 of what happened in the ending. What? Yeah, this is where...
Watch that. Oh, that's a foot. Never mind.
Yeah, so they're just going through some investigating of the demon of what they went up against.
That's good artwork.
The artwork is
Let me show this page.
Yeah, that page I wanted to show you guys.
Top bar.
They have just great teamwork right here. And basically not much was going on. There was a fight, however, of... what's his name? This villain. I can't remember his name.
That's nice.
Yes, the can't remember his name.
Oh, whoever he is.
Well, yeah, they get in the fight with the
it's nice to see
X-Men.
Wolverine and Beast also take part in the fight.
Yeah, and it's good to see Wolverine's classic costume as well in the fight. Rogue joins, and the fight scene was really great. There's a lot more of action actually than talking, which
that's always a plus.
Which is always a plus in my book. I'm just amazed by this artwork, and they defeat the enemy. If you know his name, please comment below. Unless
I don't read X-Men. Yeah, I don't read X-Men.
And then I'm gonna be like, oh, that was his name. And
we gotta start jotting names down.
I think Exodus. I think his name is.
Maybe.
I think so.
Hey, look, it's Hope.
Yeah, Hope's in this panel right here, which should be Jean Grey, but it's not. And now, in the end, this is what really got me interesting. Rogue says, did we just get Cyclops killed? And Wolverine says, damn it, and it's to be continued. Right after that.
Wow, so they're going to have to go to
they have
possibly Utopia.
Yeah, and
next cover looks nice.
Yeah, so yeah, this was actually good. If I didn't give that much of a description on, I was...
It's good to leave it broad so people get interested enough that they check it out.
But I do recommend this comic book. It is great. Wolverine's in action and all the other X-Men. I'd say pick this up. Great issue, and as far as Cyclops goes, let's see what happens next issue in Utopia. And that's all I have.
Okay. One of the 2.1 books I got this week. Yes, I got point 1 books, and that's because I'm interested in the 2 series. First one, Deadpool 49.1, which leads into Deadpool 50, Death. If you have not been reading Deadpool from issue 1 to issue 49, get this book. Why? This book does what a point 1 should do. It explains everything that's happened in Deadpool from issue 1 all the way through until issue 48 in opera form, in a musical form, which is funny, but you get what you pay for. This is supposed to explain everything that's happened in the book and catch you up and get you ready for the new story. That's exactly what this did. I feel like I have an idea of what Deadpool's gone through, and I have an idea of where they're going now. So I don't have to worry about what do you call it? What's happening next? The artwork was awesome. I want to show some. Yeah, there we go. I read this story arc, the 2-part Hit Monkey. It was funny to see that redone in musical form. Kind of cracked up on that one, and yeah, it was funny. It was, believe me, if you know DeadPool, you know that this book was going to be off the wall before it happened. And then of course this next issue, death or dead. Oh, whoops, dead. So it's on sale in 2 weeks. I'll be getting it. So this is the first of the 2.1s, and it has caught me up to on the series, and I am interested to see what happens next.
Yep.
Okay. Moving into Daken Dark Wolverine number 20. This is a story that leads into the next story. It's a in-between story, basically. Great, now I have the cough.
Want to go get your holes? Okay.
So anyway, it's all about Daken finally finding out who the big crime lord is. The big head in the underworld is in L.A. And in the beginning of the book, you see him taking sight with a sniper. He's ready to kill him. And then it goes back and it shows a lot of interaction between him and Agent Keel. He believes Agent Keel is just like him, and he feels a connection with her now because she saved him, and nobody's ever done that for him before. But she tells him he's a monster, and he's like, no, I'm not. I have no remorse or anything, but you're just as crazy as I am. And he tries to prove it to her. A lot happens. Somebody loses a hand. I'm not telling you guys. You got to read this book. And in the end, he basically tells her, I'll change. And she's like, no, you won't. And it basically ends with him sniping the crime lord, and it turns out the crime lord, for some reason, can't be shot. And all it shows him is, with his claws and walking towards the guy. I don't know if he's walking towards him. He's like, I can't build anything, so might as well just destroy it. And we also find out, spoiler, his healing factor is not working anymore. It still hasn't come back, and we don't know why. And this is all leading into the final story for Daken Dark Wolverine, which is going to end in March. March is the last Daken Dark Wolverine issue we're going to be reading. So they're doubling everything up just to get the story out there and finish it off. So in 2 weeks, actually with DeadPool, we'll be getting the next issue of Daken Dark Wolverine. Looking forward to it. Beginning of the new story arc. Unfortunately, it's the last story arc, but wish it could have stuck around. It's a really good series, Marvel. You really shouldn't have gotten rid of it. Just to replace it with another Avengers book. Again. Because of your movies. Okay. The Mighty Thor, issue 10. All I could say after reading this is Thor is back, baby. A lot goes on. There is a scene with Kid Loki and Silver Surfer with the hammer.
Oh, again?
What's his name? Tannerus is kind of found out through, I forgot this guy, through Heimdall, or Heimdall, however you pronounce him, who can't see Tannerus at all. Thor, while trying to pick up Thor's hammer, Loki says, Thor, never give up, and at the same time, and wherever he is, he says, I'll never give up. Hammer comes back, and, spoiler, he finally says, I am Thor. Hammer comes back, costume is fully back, and he's like, we're getting the hell out of here. And the Queen, the High Mother, is about to get assassinated. While Donald Blake is still missing his cane, we basically end it with Thor going at the monster that's been eating all the ships that go towards him, that eats all the lost gods.
The next issue cover.
The next issue cover looks awesome.
That should be a poster.
I'm just glad that this Tannerus story was only, what, 3-4 issues? Thor will be back by next issue. I'm happy about that. And when is it on sale? They don't give a date.
Well, we'll just have to find out on Midtown whenever it comes out.
Yeah, alright. But Mighty Thor is awesome for those of you Thor fans. This is really good. The artwork, as you saw from the page I showed you, is awesome as well. I would recommend it. I would recommend it. I would say start from the Tannerus story and just go forward. I missed out on a couple. You can get the book. The book will catch you up on everything up until this point. Then all you gotta do is start the Tannerus story, which I did. And you'll basically be caught up. So, really good. Matt Braction's doing an okay job on the story. I can't wait for Thor to be back and see where the next story goes, and that'll make or break the Mighty Thor for me. But right now, Mighty Thor is going really strong. Second and last point one from Marvel, and the last Marvel book of the week with, yep, I have enough time, Secret Avengers 21.1. Basically, to explain this issue in whole, Captain America is testing is testing Clint, who's known as Hawkeye, and he actually debuts his new costume in this issue. He's testing Hawkeye to see if he can lead the Secret Avengers, because Captain America, now that Steve Rogers is Captain America again, can't lead the Secret Avengers. He's not a covert person. He has to be in the public eye, and he can't be attached to any type of covert, secret organization or Avengers group. So throughout the whole beginning and towards the middle of the book, he's like, he's not ready. I pushed him too hard. He doesn't have the skills. He still lacks this, that, and the other thing. By the end of the book, however, it's a completely different story. Of course, Clint doesn't really want to be a part of any kind of covert, underground spy kind of Avengers team. But in the end, of course, we all know he's going to join the Secret Avengers. We've all seen the cover for the next issue, and we've all seen the previews. And even at the end of this book, it says, "Next, Hawkeye takes lead." This book does two things. It gets me to want to read the next Secret Avengers, but it also gets me interested in reading Captain America and Hawkeye, which is going to replace Captain America and Bucky in another month or so. And also, it depends if I collect Captain America or not, but if I don't collect Captain America anymore, I'm probably going to check out Captain America and Hawkeye, because this was awesome. It was fun watching the two of them work together. They have the kind of chemistry where they'll fight against each other. They fight for... I don't even know how to explain it, really. They fight each other. They always butt heads, but at the same time, they work great as a team. So I might check out Captain America and Hawkeye when it comes out. So this actually gets me interested in two books, not just one. So I would say check this point one out, as well as the DeadPool point one. And with that, we are at 22 seconds left. So we're going to end the part here, and we'll come back with DC Comics and end this entire episode out. So guys, we'll see you in part 2.